I'm Jennifer Behar, and I'm grateful to be here. I started my company, Jennifer's Homemade, 17 years ago. I began in an untraditional way. I have an advertising and marketing background, and I was an advertising account executive in New York City on the Johnson & Johnson baby shampoo account, and I helped to launch AccuView contact lenses internationally. I was married, and I used to make breadsticks for dinner parties, and my friends told me that they loved them and I should sell them. And I always said, I'll never do that. Then I moved to Florida for my husband's family business, and a few years later, we got divorced. And I found myself baking with my young daughter, feeding the neighborhood. One day while I was driving, I had an epiphany. I was like, I could do this. I could take my advertising and marketing background and my desire to give back and start a business. That day, I drove myself to the grocery store, I started baking, and I never looked back. That first year was crazy. I kind of blacked it out. I would tuck my daughter in bed, bake at night, take her to school in the morning, and then sell and deliver. After my divorce, I was going through a difficult time. I knew that there were people struggling more than I was, and I wanted to help. So I went to Feeding South Florida, our food bank, and told them I wanted to donate a portion of proceeds before I ever made a sale. I think they thought I was crazy. After that, I went to Gardner's Market and made my first sale, and that was the beginning. Now we're growing and selling nationwide to stores like Whole Foods, Publix, Kroger, Albertsons, and small gourmet shops and online. Jennifer's Homemade is an artisanal line of breadsticks and flatbread that are vegan, all natural, and made with extra virgin olive oil. But most importantly, they're made with love. At Jennifer's Homemade, we take love seriously. Taste the Love is not just our tagline, but it's our core business philosophy. I believe the love we put into our product has an impact on everything we do, including how we run our business, build our relationships, and treat our employees. I talk a lot about love in business meetings, and at first people think I'm a little out there. But then they get to know me and realize that I'm serious, and it's not just words on a PowerPoint. Going through the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Business Program was an incredible experience for me. We were virtual, so it's so nice for me to be here with you in person. We had meetings most mornings at 8 a.m., and it really forced me to step away from my business and focus and be available for something new. It also helped me to look at every aspect of my business: the people, the finances, the process, and the future. Incredibly, I felt like the universe took care of me because every module seemed to show up just when I needed it most. My business and the Goldman Sachs program were aligned. Getting to know the other small business owners in my cohort was amazing, and we keep in touch, which I love. Some of my friends from my cohort are here today, which is so nice. We can share our wins and support each other in tough times and be a sounding board and a resource for each other. I would say to you, keep in touch. It's a wonderful thing about Goldman Sachs is that we're all small business owners going through the same or similar challenges, juggling work and life. Although I'm not great about balance, I'm still working on that. The past few years with the pandemic have been challenging, but also a huge growth opportunity for me. I would kid with my friends that my life didn't change at all during the pandemic. My business never closed, and we continued to produce. I felt very lucky. The 5 business lessons that I've learned in business and in life, and my advice to you, would be, number 1, don't take more than you need. When I started the business, I rented space in different commercial bakeries. Then I ultimately built out my own space. I set up a relatively large facility thinking, I'll grow into this, I'll need all of this. And while we used it, it was more than I needed at the time. And when things got tough, I ended up downsizing, taking what I needed. That turned out to be a good move. I would recommend not to take more than you need until you need it. Now, I wish I had all that space, but it was the right thing to do at the time. So we're growing now, and I'm trying to figure out how to manage the growth. It's hard to know what you need and plan for the future. I'm planning my next move, and I keep reminding myself how we started. I'm looking at moving to a co-manufacturer to accelerate the growth. It's a smarter way to grow, though it's tough to let go. Number 2, don't think you can do everything yourself. While I can do everything, I've learned that I'll never grow the way I want to grow if I try to do it all myself. I realize there are people smarter than me in different areas of the business, and now I have a sales manager, a marketing manager, a bookkeeper, and an assistant who helps with the day-to-day and customer service. All of this is helping me to grow smarter. Number 3, don't take no for an answer. No to me is maybe. I've had plenty of people say we're not bringing in your product. And in that, I take that as a not now. Lots of people said stay in touch, you build relationships, and you keep moving forward. Eventually, if you have a good product or service, it will ultimately turn into a yes, which is happening to me now. I have these relationships that I've built, and people are coming back around years later. It's exciting, and it's nice to know that people I met years ago are finally now customers. Number 4, don't tell everyone your dreams. Not too many people can see what you see. When you're building a business, you're doing something that's never been done before in some capacity. Some people are either not going to support you or don't have your vision. It's a different mindset being an entrepreneur. Over the years, people have said to me, get a job, you can make more money. I heard that a lot, and I would say I have a bigger goal in mind. I'm building something here. It's not about the salary I'm taking today, it's about the brand I'm building and something bigger down the road. Ultimately, it'd be nice to make a ton of money and sell this, but it's more significant than that for me. You need to share with certain people who can help you, but not everybody will be able to do that. People can't see for you what they can't see for themselves. Sometimes you need to keep your circle tight. Number 5, believe in yourself. Believe in yourself, believe in your product, believe in what you do. Don't lose sight of that, no matter what happens. When things get tough, I think about what do I need to do to figure it out. It doesn't have to be perfect. Perfect is boring. I can be a perfectionist, but being perfect can work against you. You want things to be as good as they can, and then you need to move forward. Dealing with all of the challenges is tough. You think that things will get easier at a certain level as you grow, and in my experience, it doesn't. The problems are just different. It doesn't necessarily get easier. Being able to roll with the punches and knowing that you'll have ups and downs is critical. As you know, owning a business and running it is not for the faint of heart. Congratulations to all of you for graduating today and completing the program. I know how difficult it is to juggle this intense experience with running a business and having a personal life. Well, sort of having a personal life. You should be proud of all you've done to get to today. As you know, there are no shortcuts. And I always say you can't get from A to Z without going through the alphabet. You're here for a reason, and it's because you've proven yourself to be smart and successful, and now you have all of the power and resource of Goldman Sachs behind you, supporting you and cheering you on. Huge congratulations to all of you. Thank you for having me.